Welcome, Y friends, and thank you for joining me for this strength and conditioning workout. My name is Katie Brown, and I'm glad that you're here to do this workout with me. You're going to need dumbbells and a mat, depending on the type of surface that you're on. So when we get down on the floor, if you're on a harder surface, you'll probably want to have your mat with you. If you don't have heavy dumbbells, that's okay. Grab whatever you have. The great thing about this workout is because we're working multiple muscle groups at the same time, you're probably going to fatigue your muscles even if you just have lighter weights, and that's okay. For each strength exercise, we're going to work for 40 seconds, get a 20-second break or transition, and then start the next exercise. There are 5 strength exercises, as I said, that will work multiple muscle groups at the same time. Some of them will isolate a muscle group. After we finish one round of the strength exercises, we're going to move on to some HIIT or high intensity interval training for our conditioning. We will use no equipment, just our own body weight, and we'll get our heart rate up and we'll move a little faster during those times. Those intervals will be 30 seconds. There will be 3 exercises of 30 seconds followed by a 30-second rest, and we will do 3 rounds of that. And then we'll come back to the strength exercises with the dumbbells. So let's go ahead and start with a warm-up. Go ahead and stand with your feet apart, reach your arms up, and make a big circle. It's really important to do a solid, active warm-up to get your muscles ready. You're gonna be able to jump into that workout and get the most out of it right from the beginning if your muscles are already warm. One more in this direction. And switch, reverse it. Make sure you're bending the knees, engaging as many muscles as possible. And one more this direction. All right, fix your stance if you need to. We're going to do a body weight squat. Sit your hips back and stand up. Make sure your heels are staying on the floor. When I get into the position, I can wiggle my toes because I have more weight in my heels, and that's what we're looking for. If you'd like to listen to music, go ahead and put your own music on. I do not have any music on. I want you to be able to hear me clearly. A couple more squats. 3, 2, 1. All right, from this position, I'm going to turn my toes out just a little bit, and I'm going to slide down and grab out to my toes. I'm going to drop my hips and lift. Fix your stance to what's comfortable for you. I realize not everyone can get this full range of motion, but do what you can. Great way to wake up your hamstrings. 2 more. Last one. And slide up. Soldier march. We're going to reach our arms out. We're going to bring a leg forward and reach with the opposite hand. Get some rotation in your torso. Again, we have many muscle groups working here, getting warmed up. We don't want to do static stretching at the beginning of a workout, which is where you hold a stretch. We want to save that for the end. We want to get our muscles nice and warm through some active stretching. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's do some walkouts. I'm going to reach my hands to the floor and walk out to a plank position. And then walk my hands back to my feet. The less flexible you are, the further apart you might want to spread your feet. On this next one, I want you to walk out and hold your plank position. Now, if you're able to, swing your leg up by your hand, or your foot by your hand rather, and then open towards that leg and close. And the other side. Swing that foot up by your hands and open. If you're not able to do this from a plank position, you can do it from your knees and lean forward. A couple more on each side. Swing the foot up and open. Close it, switch. This is an excellent way to get your hips open and ready for any squatting or lower body movements. One more on each side. And walk the hands back. Come up nice and slow. All right, we're gonna get started with our strength exercises. Like I said at the beginning, each exercise will be 40 seconds, followed by a 20-second transition or rest, and then we'll start the next exercise. I have my timer here set for 40 seconds and 20 seconds for 5 rounds. Let me go through the exercises before we get going. We're gonna squat, curl, and press first. So you're gonna pick the appropriate set of dumbbells for you. Squat, curl, press, down, down, squat, curl, press. Okay, second exercise is an overhead tricep extension. You may need 1 weight or 2, depending on the amount of weight that's appropriate for you. So maybe you want to use 20 pounds. That could be a single 20-pound dumbbell or 2 10-pound dumbbells. So that's one muscle group we're going to be working where we're isolating. Then we're going to move on to another compound movement, and we're going to do a sumo squat. When we sumo squat, we stand wider and we turn our toes out. Sumo squat, an upright row, or called a high pull sometimes. Sumo squat, pull, sumo, pull. For our fourth exercise, we're going to do push-ups. Again, you may need your mat if you're on a hard surface, and you're going to do your push-ups from your knees. Let me tell you or remind you that when you're doing a push-up, you don't want your elbows really high. You actually want your elbows to aim back a little bit, so you look like an arrow rather than a T. And you want to lead with your chest and not your chin or your face. I realize 40 seconds is a long time for some of us to do push-ups, so when you can't do any more push-ups, I just want you to try holding the plank. And the last exercise is going to be a reverse lunge and lateral raise. So we'll alternate legs with a reverse lunge, and the arms will lateral raise. This is another compound movement. If you need to separate it and do the reverse lunge and the lateral raise when your feet are together, that's perfectly okay. This is a little less intense, and if your weight is a little heavier, you might want to do this option. Okay, pick your weights for the squat, curl, press, and we'll get started. Here we go. Feet about hip width. Sit back into that squat. Don't be afraid to change weights throughout the workout. Rest. If you find that the weight you're using is not appropriate, go ahead and switch. We have overhead extension next. I'm going to use 1 single dumbbell. Breathe. Weight up. Bend the elbows and straighten. Anytime we're working our triceps, the movement comes from the elbows. Flex and extend. trying to aim for at least 90 degrees at the elbow, which would be here. If you're able to get a little lower, great. As your muscles fatigue, you're gonna notice, you're gonna try to cheat and cut that range of motion short. Pay attention to that. Try to stick with the same range of motion. Oh, finish that one. Set that weight down. You got a few seconds to recover. Moving on to the third exercise, the sumo squat and high pull. It's not a lot of time between, I realize that. Pay attention to how you feel, and then maybe the next time you do this workout, or in a few weeks, after you've been consistent, you'll notice that you're not quite as fatigued. Maybe you can move up in weight. If you are feeling really fatigued, slow down the tempo. Squat, stand, pull. Relax. Push-ups next. Grab your mat. If you're gonna need your mat for your knees, you can always start without it and then drop to your knees if you're too fatigued to continue with regular push-ups. Check your shoulder blade position. Make sure you're not drooping. Push up and away from the floor. Woo, that's the longest 40 seconds, I think. Last one, reverse lunge lateral raise. Definitely go lighter for this one. Remember, we have two options here. We can separate the two exercises. Right now I'm doing them together. Something to pay attention to with a reverse lunge is keep a little more weight on the front leg. If you look like this, then you're putting too much weight on the back leg. Keep more weight on the front leg. All right, that was one time through. We'll come back to that. Breathe. Okay. For our conditioning or high intensity intervals, I'm going to reset my timer for 30-second intervals. Three exercises, 30 seconds apiece, followed by a 30-second rest, but we're gonna go through it 3 times. Okay, so those 3 exercises in this first circuit are going to be skaters, mountain climbers, and alternating front kicks. Make sure all your equipment is out of the way. You don't want to trip over anything. Skaters, we're hopping side to side. So when the leg goes out, the arms go out. I'm going to try to land on one foot and stick my landing. Okay, so this is a more intense version. If you need a modified version, you can step side to side, try to keep those arms engaged. That's going to get your heart rate up more. Okay, if you need to, you can hop and put the foot down. What I want you to avoid is shifting weight to that back leg. Try to keep the weight on the leg you're landing on. Second, we have mountain climbers. We're gonna hit the floor and we're gonna climb here. Another option would be to put your hands on the wall. That would be a modified version. And then the third one is the front kicks. Kick, kick. Okay, 3 rounds. We'll be nice and out of breath when this is over. Ready, set, go. Lateral movement is so good for you. You should always include some lateral movement, moving side to side in your workouts. Mountain climbers. Try not to let your hips drift up in the air. Front kick. Your tempo is going to determine that heart rate. Heart rate's too high, feel out of control, slow it down. Bring down the tempo. If you can, keep it going. Kicks don't have to be high. You can aim low. You can add in the arms. All right, 30-second rest. Take them one exercise at a time. Don't worry about the whole minute and a half. If at any time you have to pause or take a break, that's okay. And then hopefully as you're consistent and keep doing this, you'll notice that eventually you can get through it without any pause. All right, here we go. Skaters. Sometimes it's good to have a frame of reference on the floor. I have this dot, so I know if I'm going the same distance every time, can I get back to the dot every time? Mountain climbers. Front kick. Keep it going. Come on, dig deep. Come on. Earn that recovery. Pull from here, nice and tight. Woo. You can tell I'm out of breath. This isn't easy. I hope I'm not the only one out of breath right now. One more time. One more time. In 8, 7, 6. Skaters, get ready. Get set. Don't worry about what's coming. Don't worry about what's left. Focus on doing your best right now. Could be doing a lot of other things. You're here, choosing to take care of you. Kudos. Mountain climbers, come on. Last time. We're not giving up. We can do difficult things. Change comes through challenge. If you don't change something, nothing changes. Woo! It's tough. It's supposed to be. That's why it makes a difference. Come on, this is the end of this one. Ha, 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 ha. Big, strong thoughts. You can do this. Just a kick, it's just a kick. Just another one, and another one. Keep trying. Good job. Good news and more good news. Good news is that one's over. More good news, we get to go back to our dumbbells. Make sure you're hydrating. Don't be in too much of a hurry. If you don't give yourself a little time to recover, you're not going to be able to work really hard on this next interval. This is not a steady state heart rate workout. This isn't getting on a machine and doing 30 minutes at a steady pace. This is up and down, up and down. That's conditioning, that's strength training. So if we need a minute, then we take a minute. And as we get more fit, we can increase weight. We can take a little less time. At this point of the workout, maybe you've done this and you want to fast forward and get started. Maybe you still need this break. It depends on the amount of weight you're using. If you're heavy, you're probably not going to want to jump right back in right now. Let me get this set up. 40 seconds on strength. Remember, we had 20 seconds to get to the next exercise. Squat, curl, press is the first one, followed by tricep extensions. All right, pick out your weights. Don't go lighter if you don't have to. Sometimes we get tired and we go, oh, I think I'm gonna go with the lighter weight because I'm tired. Not if you don't have to. You have to challenge your body if you want it to change. It's gonna be uncomfortable. As long as you can do the form and you can get through the time, or even get through half the time and then switch. At least start with as heavy as you can handle and do well. All right, here we go. Push those heels into the floor. Push your feet into the floor and push yourself up. Squeeze the glutes. It's not forever. It's just a few seconds. You got that weight for the overhead extension. Again, it might be 2 smaller weights or 1 bigger weight. Ready, get set, go. Something I want you to think about here. Make sure you're not sticking your rear end out and arching your back. Pull the hips in and pull the ribs in. We have a tendency to stick our ribs out when we get tired in these overhead exercises. Keep everything stacked, nice and tight. Extend, extend. Every exercise, you have an opportunity to work your core. That's what it's there for. It's there to stabilize. So use it. Pull the belly button in. Oh, good job. All right, what's next? Third exercise, sumo squat, high pull or upright row. Tempo is a big determining factor here on how challenging this is going to be. Ready? Go. Maybe you want to go a little heavier. You're going to have to slow down your tempo to some degree. Be safe. If you're thinking, this is no big deal, this is kind of easy, pick up your tempo or increase the weight if you have a heavier weight. If you're thinking you're not going to make it through, separate the two. Push and squeeze. Woo! Push-ups. Get that mat ready if you need it. Keep my eye on the clock. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, go. I'm more concerned about my range of motion and my form than I am speed. 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, this is your transition time. Last exercise. Grab those light weights, reverse lunge, lateral raise. Breathe. There we go. If your arms are starting to look more like this than this, lighten up or separate. Split squat or reverse lunge and raise. As that weight feels heavier, we don't want to compromise form. Maybe you're still here with this option. That's fantastic. All right. We got through it a second time. Good job. We're going to move on to another HIIT circuit or conditioning circuit. Get control of your breathing. And let me tell you what these exercises are going to be. Going back to the 30-second interval times. 3 rounds. Jumping jacks. Okay, we all are familiar with a jumping jack. This is where the hair starts to go. High knee jump rope. All right, it could be a high knee march, low intensity, or as I said, high knee jump rope. Or it could be a high knee jumping jack. And then our third exercise, we're gonna hop forward and shuffle back. Big hop, shuffle back. Okay, give yourself plenty of room. Get the mat out of the way. Move my dumbbells over a little. All right, starting with jumping jacks. Ready, set, here we go. If you need to, low impact, jog it from moderate impact. And watch the knees, make sure they're not caving in. Get the arms up, don't be lazy with the arms. Come on, dig deep. All right, what did I say was next? High knee jump rope. You can stick with runner's arms. If it's better for you, do a butt kick. back up. I'm getting ready for my hop. Shuffle. If you can't hop on 2 feet, hop 1. Step back. Hop 1. Shuffle back. Can't hop at all? Shuffle, tap. Those of you with the first option, you're still doing this. Rest. Grab water if you need water. Back to jumping jacks on the beat. Whew. Jog them if you have to. Slow them down if you have to. You want something different? Sumo jack. Apart, together. Don't let me complicate things. Stick with the one you want. All right, we're high knee jump roping. Most importantly, we're still moving. If you're gonna do this workout more than one time, and I hope you will, you're gonna want some different options along the way. You're here. Tap, 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 tap. Rest. Enjoy this 30 seconds. One more time. Whew. One of these options. I like this one personally. Low impact, friends. Here, working it out side to side. March in here, high knees. March in if you have to. Come on, dig deep, this is our last time. I don't like this one either. It's so difficult. All right, you can control your breathing. Hope I'm not the only one winded. I would think you would feel that. One more time with a dumbbell. Maybe you were hoping I wasn't gonna say that. This is about a 45-minute workout. We're at about 35 minutes right now, roughly. By the time we finish, because we got 5 exercises, we'll do a little stretch, cool down, and then you're done. Again, don't lighten the weight if you don't have to. If your form is suffering, lighten the weight. If you really can't make it through the whole 40 seconds, then lighten the weight. But I want you to challenge yourself. Maybe you really have to be done. Then don't do this last round. If you really can't, if you really think it's not in your best interest, but set a goal to be able to finish the video someday and keep coming back to it and be consistent. Okay, here we go. Last time, 40 seconds, squat, curl, press. Go. Don't be discouraged. If this was harder than you thought it was gonna be, don't be discouraged. You're already a step closer just by having started. So set a goal to be consistent, be persistent. Don't be in competition with anybody but you. Try to do better each time. And we all have good days and bad days. Whew! That's it for that one. Each time you finish one, we're done with it for the day. Overhead extension. Say goodbye to squat, curl, press. Last time for overhead extension. Remember, ribs and hips tucked in. I like to stagger my feet. Remember what I said about core. There's always an opportunity to use your core. It's probably feeling a little more challenging than it did the first and second time. I know I'm struggling, but I'm determined. I'm gonna do every rep I can. Oh, say goodbye to tricep extensions. Sumo squat, high pull or upright row. Maybe you just want to get through this. And whatever tempo and weight you can do is good enough. Maybe you really need to dig deep, bust it out. Let's get it done. Last time. Shoulders back. Pull. Pull. Woo! I know I'm making some faces. Are you making faces yet? Push-ups. Grab that mat if you're gonna need it for the knees. Woo. I'm struggling, you guys. I don't think this is an easy combination for anyone. I'm determined. Ooh, how much time do we have? Oh, just made it. All right, reverse lunge, lateral raise. We're done. One more exercise. One more. Here we go. I'm going to separate them so I can do it well. But I'm going to move kind of quickly. So I'm bringing that foot in, the arms are going up. If you need to wait till your foot's down, that's okay. Little things like that make a big difference. Oh, come on. Dig deep, finish strong. Oh, sweet victory. We're done. I want you to do these circles like we did at the beginning. Slow. Reverse it. I don't know if this is the beginning, middle, or end of your day, but great job. It's a good way to start, good way to finish. Bring the arm across. Use your other arm to hold it in place, and you should feel a nice stretch in the back of your shoulder, around your shoulder blade. I want you to take that same arm and now reach for that shoulder blade and use the opposite hand to pull that elbow up and back, getting a stretch in your triceps. Let's switch sides, bring it across, hold. Make sure with every workout, you do an adequate warm-up and cool down and stretch. Your muscles are more pliable when they're warm, so we want to do these static stretches and hold after a workout or at some point when you're already warmed up, preferably at the end. All right, take those hands, clasp them together behind you. Bring the heels of your hands together if you can. Opening the chest. Feet apart, I'm going to reach up. And now I'm going to reach my hands out and push my hips back, making a nice flat back. Not rounded, but flat. Oh. And I'm going to grab onto those toes and drop, so make sure your feet are in the right position for your hips. We did this at the beginning. Slow it down. Hold each position for a couple seconds. Slow. Lifting your chin last so you don't get dizzy. All right, hamstring stretch. I'm going to put that heel out in front of me, toes up, and I'm going to shift my hips back. If you're able to reach the floor, great. If not, right here is fine. It just depends on how flexible you are. I don't want you to switch sides. I just want to take you this front leg behind you, my heels up. I'm going to push my hips forward, sink down a little bit. I've got my left leg back. I'm going to reach my left arm up. Reach that hand back. I don't want to hyperextend my back. And I want you to bring it through again. Same side still. One more time for hamstrings. Relax. Don't tighten up your muscles. Relax. And take it back. Heel up, hips forward. Hopefully your breathing's slowed down a little bit. Sometimes we need to consciously think about that. Sometimes we're still breathing heavy and we don't need to. All right, bring it together. Switch sides. We're almost done. Don't underestimate the importance of the warm up and cool down. Take it back. Heel up, hips forward. Bring it through. Back. Last time. And before we finish, I want you to now push that heel down. We'll get the other side in a second. Step through, push the other heel down. If you want more stretching at the end, check out one of our other videos. These videos can be used together. We have some shorter workouts, so you can link them together as you see fit and depending on how much time you have. So for more stretching, go ahead and add in another video. And that's it for us today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a great workout. Have a great day.